Hey guys, so I'm about to let you in on 6 of the biggest posting mistakes when it comes to real estate agents posting on social media and actually trying to get business from it, not just trying to get views or likes or followers. These are not only 6 of the most common mistakes I see, but 6 of the most detrimental mistakes that actually kill your brand and get you the reverse result that you're looking for, which is less business. After watching this, you'll have a much better direction of which way to go about posting your content and hopefully reverse that page of yours that is not getting much traction at all and start winning just like you see everybody else doing. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so number one, it's going to be a little bit of controversy around this one, but I have to say listing photos as they are today, as they stand today, just aren't worth it. Now, I will say it's a little bit of a caveat to it, depending on, which way you go about it, which I'll explain in a second. But listing photos as it is today, which is pulling the actual photos from the website that you upload them on, whether that be, your Zillows, your Realtors.coms, stuff like that, actually pulling those listing photos and uploading those photos directly to these social media platforms, that simply doesn't work. It doesn't work for reaching the audience that you want to reach. And it also doesn't work for actually, catering to the audience that you already have. Now, why that is, you may ask, well, I'll tell you this. People are not scrolling their feeds expecting to see home after home after home like they're actually on one of these listing platforms. Like if they want to see home after home like that, they'll go on that platform. But when people are on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, stuff like that, they aren't necessarily looking forward to seeing those photos. Therefore, that's not the platform to be posting them on. I think a little bit has to do with the professionalism of those photos. I think a little bit has to do with the uninterest just based around the idea of posting those photos. I always say you got to give the audience what they want to see, tell them what they want to hear, speak their language, and always meet them where they are. And in that case, you aren't necessarily doing any of those. You're really just hoping that as another marketing tactic that you can market your property in this type of way and still get the same results that you do get on those listing platforms. Now, I'm going to let you in on something, right? If you do want to take photos, if you do want to upload photos onto these social media platforms, there is a very specific way to do so and go about it where you can actually get results. And people are actively getting results from this. Like realtors all across the country, they're getting results doing the same thing. Carousel photos, right? But the photos aren't going to be the professional photos that you take when you're trying to upload it somewhere else, right? It's going to be very simple photos with your phone. Do not overcomplicate this part, right? You can pull out your phone, take pictures of the property, and upload those onto these social media platforms and get way better results than you actually pulling these professional photos and trying to upload those. Don't do it. Don't do it. It doesn't work. If you want to go about it that way, then I guarantee you will get way, way better results by actually just being a little bit more authentic with your photos. And that means making them iPhone quality, making them phone quality, having the right written hook on that first photo and explaining exactly what you would explain just in a condensed way, either in the caption or on the photos itself. So stop posting your actual listing photos, post your own. You'll start to see way better things come from that. Number 2, generic market updates, right? Good old market updates. Your brokerage tells you if you want to post online, make sure to post informational, educational content about this and that. Make sure to update your audience about the market. Guarantee the way that it is right now, again, how it stands right now, how people are posting about market updates right now, it simply doesn't work. Doesn't work for a few reasons, right? One, is boring. Not many people care, right? They're scrolling their feed. You got to understand that people are looking to be entertained. You as a realtor, you're obviously going to want to educate your audience on these properties, on these updates in the best way you can. But the best way isn't always to entertain for various reasons, right? But you're not always going to be able to entertain. So what happens when you actually have to educate your audience? But the topic of what you're trying to talk about is just stupidly boring and nobody really wants to hear about it. Nobody cares about it. How do you go about it? I guarantee it's not by pulling out your handy dandy phone, speaking to the camera saying, hey folks, this is an update for this week, August 20th on the market in San Francisco. It's not that. That's not the way to go about it, right? For one, if you actually try to keep that up, you're going to burn yourself out. Now, I'm sure there's an audience for that. I'm sure there's a very specific audience in every city that loves to hear about these updates, but there's a way to kind of swing it in to where the video itself is not about the market updates. But if you take a rather more interesting video idea or video format like a walkthrough tour or a neighborhood tour, something of that type where it's actually interesting to people and it's been proven to work over and over again, a format like that, if you do take one of those and then where you can speak on video or do a voiceover, right? you can actually talk about those market updates that you're wanting to inform your audience about within those formats of videos. And so at that point, the video itself does not become something like a, hey guys, here's this week's market update, but instead you talking about a specific property or neighborhood. And while you're talking about it, spritz and dazzle a little bit of those market updates that you love to talk about and that those audiences would love to hear about, but just sprinkle it in. Strategic. We're talking strategically now. You haven't heard it like this. You haven't done it like this. This is strategic talk. And that's all social media is, guys. It's giving the people what they want to see, telling them what they want to hear, but doing it in a strategic way to where they won't scroll off your video in an instant or they actually care about what you're talking about. So generic market updates as they stand today, out of line, don't do them. They're a waste of time and they suck. Number 3 is going to be just sold, just listed photos. Do I even have to expand on this one? Because I feel like matter of fact, I will. Here we go. Just listed, just sold. That's the old brokerage way. They'll tell you to do that. They'll tell you to hop on Canva, make these pretty little graphics, make your page pretty, and tell people, hey guys, I just listed a house. Hey guys, I just sold a house. But I guarantee it doesn't work because of these things right here. For one, your audience does not care about that. It speaks more about you than to them. And what your audience actually likes, what they'll gravitate towards, is if you learn how to speak to them, speak their language, and not all about you, me, right? That language is out the window if you want to get leads from your content. And so for one, those just listed and just sold graphic posts, right? For one, they don't reach people. Like they don't reach enough people to really even make a difference in your posting. And it's definitely not going to make a difference in your conversion rate. The only people who will likely see those type of posts is your sphere of influence, right? And breaking it down even further, it's usually going to be your family and friends, which by the way, they don't care about. They don't care about it either. If your own family and friends don't care about those just listed and just sold posts, other than a, hand clap here and there, good job to you, but it's not going to go anywhere. If they don't care about it, what makes you think strangers on the internet who you're trying to reach, whose business you're trying to actively earn? We're talking about earning business online at this point. What good do you think it does for them? It does nothing. And so it's great for you, but not for them. They don't care. You care more than they do. And if that's always the case, then that's going to be a problem. There's better ways to go about, talking about the house you just sold or the house you just listed. Way better ways. And I'm talking about, especially when it comes to video content. Video is king these days, right? And so if you actually turn those types of posts, the formats that you're trying to, do, when you're trying to tell people that you just listed or just sold, do it in a video format that's already proven to work. And there's a few of them out there. But if you're just going to rely on these graphics like the old brokerage model tells you to do, then you're just out of luck and you're always going to be. That's just the way it is. All right. Number 4, I'm going to keep this one brief, but it's going to be constant self promo. Now, the real estate agents out there who like to boast about, I've just sold 225 million in the last quarter. Use me as your realtor. Or, hey guys, look at me. I'm the #1 realtor in this city. And here's why you should choose me for your purchase or for your process, whatever the case may be. Those types of people. And you know exactly how you feel about them. But what you may not know is how your actual audience feels about these types of posts. Now, it's always going to stem back to one thing, right? It's always going to stem back to this one thing. And that's, do they actually care? What are they getting from it? And is this relevant to their needs? If they don't care, if they're not getting anything from it, and if it's not relevant to them or their needs, they are going to keep on scrolling. They're never going to know about you. Let the content itself speak for how great you are. And it will if you do it right. If you have to be the one consistently reminding everybody of, this is who I am. This is what I've done. Look at me, guys. Not only will you be in a consistent loop of trying to win over everybody, of being in this rat race that you'll never get out of, but you'll also burn out a lot faster than everybody who's focused on the right things, the things that actually matter to their audience, and they'll end up passing you up anyway. So it really won't matter at the end of the day what numbers you've gotten, how much you've done, what you've done, because there's always going to be agents around you actually putting out content that's valuable to the audience instead of thyself, and the one who provides more value, the one who gives the people what they want to see at a much greater volume, those are going to be the ones who always come out on top. Now, speaking of me, right? Number 5 is going to be fancy videos. What do I mean by fancy videos? I'm talking about the overproduced, highly edited, 5-star graded commercial-like content, right? You know what I'm talking about. Now, the thing about this one, guys, and I'm not trying to target, being well presentable and well-mannered online, showing people the best presentation possible, giving your clients, the highest produced quality as possible. I'm not talking about that itself. What I'm talking about is relying on that consistently to grow your social media brand and having to rely on that to try to get consistent leads. It's a big mistake for a couple reasons. One being that your audience, they crave authenticity more than ever nowadays. I don't know if you've noticed, but online, if it's just a overly produced, commercialized piece of content, they're going to keep on scrolling because it feels exactly like what it is. It's an ad. It's a marketing scheme in their eyes. They all see you as walking commercials in the first place. So why would you give your audience more of a reason to seem like that walking commercial that they already think you are? If you have to present yourself in the fanciest of ways all the time and focus on the production value rather than the actual value within the video itself, sure, they may look at you as somebody cool if they don't look at you as somebody scammy or schemy. But at that point, you have to ask yourself, what am I actually trying to get out of this? What am I actually trying to get out of consistently posting online? Is it going to be more leads or more views and followers? And here's a note for you. You don't need the views and the followers to get leads. They don't mesh together as much as you think they do. You can have a small following with very limited views and still get extremely good results from it. And that's exactly what I teach, by the way. And not only am I over the days of this, but the days are actually over of this, where it's when you have to gain a certain amount of followers, get a certain amount of views just to get something out of it. That's something being leads in business, right? No longer is that true. No longer do you have to do that. Also, with fancy videos, there's a lot of times where people waste a lot of money when it comes to these things, right? You're spending a lot of money on this for one. You're having to put a lot of time into this once you actually start it and can't stop. And you're always going to feel that need to be validated by those views and likes and followers that come from it. There's been plenty of times where people put so much effort into these types of videos over and over just for them to get nothing from it. Not even the views or the followers. I'm talking about nothing. And it's a real shame where you put so much effort into that, so much money and time into that, just for you to get nothing out of it. And there's agents elsewhere who will literally spend little time, no money, making these videos by themselves and get way better results from it. I would hate for you to be that type of person that spends all that time and money and effort doing that, where you can just go the simple route and actually get better results doing something that not only your audience already likes more, but will actually get you more out of it. So fancy videos, that is a huge mistake. Doing it over and over and having to rely on that is a big regret that you will eventually run into. There's much better and simpler ways to go about consistently posting online to get business from it. Now, last but not least, number 6 is going to be your realtor content. Any type of content about your real estate life, about you as a realtor, your day in the lives, you talking about clients most of the time, you giving behind the scenes of what happens in the process on your end, any rants about being a realtor, just literally anything that's real estate talk, this realtor talk that you and your colleagues, only your colleagues will understand. That is a big mistake, and so many of you make it. Again, it goes back to who exactly are you trying to make content for? Because that type of content will literally target over and over again other realtors, whether that be in your area or just anywhere in the country, right? It will target those who do the exact same work that you do, which some of them, by the way, are your competition. Why are you targeting them? Don't know. But those types of videos is not speaking your audience's language. It's speaking other real estate professionals' language, but that is not who you should be going after when it comes to making your content. I need the light bulb to go off for a second. I'm going to ask you something, and I need you to answer with logic instead of emotion here. What will you get more out of? Posting content for other realtors or posting content for your audience who happens to be strangers that are looking to buy or sell or rent? Which one? Now, I would hope that all of you answered in the way that, I'm going towards, right? But even if you did answer that, a majority of those people who answer correctly are still going to go out there and make all these realtor type posts. Most of you will still, after hearing this, go out there and make day in the lives of being a realtor or realtor talk type videos. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I will never understand it. If you know that the main goal of posting is to hit your target audience so they can reach out to you, if you know that the main goal should be to reach these strangers who are actually looking for the service that you offer, instead of all these other real estate agents who are just looking to hop in your comments and say, haha, I relate, cool, and leave, why will most of you continue to make that type of content? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because it's easy. It's easy because you understand that language and you haven't taken the time out to understand your audience's language, and you don't know exactly what they want to see and what they want to hear over and over. Therefore, you just resort back to speaking about thyself and talking about the things that matter to you and other real estate professionals because it's easy. Easy after a while gets hard, right? It's going to get hard talking about that stuff and actually get nothing from it. You'll eventually find out that if you keep on targeting these other real estate agents instead of trying to target your audience, well, your results will reflect that. And they're not going to be good. Never going to be good. That concludes, right? There's a couple more, obviously, but that is the 6 biggest mistakes when it comes to posting online on social media and trying to get business from it. Don't make those mistakes. You know them now. And if you are wondering at this point, well, you listed all the mistakes. What are the solutions? Firstly, I would like, comment, subscribe, all those good things. Even turn on post notifications if you want to go that far, so you never have to miss another one of these videos that I'm dropping weekly. But I would also start with checking out this video popping up on your screen right now. As always, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, and the community link is down below in the description if you want to join that and start making social media your #1 lead generation source the most chill way possible. If it's not now, eventually I hope to see you inside. Just know it's always there for you. Thanks for watching again, and I'll see y'all very, very soon.